Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Ultima IX Ascension. In our last video, the Avatar finished exploring the upper levels of the town of Yu, and then went over to the Court of Truth to watch a complete mockery of justice occur, as Raven was carted off to Dungeon Wrong for the genocide of the Gargoyle people, which we know she did not perpetrate, but Visagralem was trying to get back at the Avatar for what he perceived was the Avatar's fault in the destruction of Ambrosia. Oops. So the Avatar, a little talk with him, showed him the Queen Egg, and they're buddies now, and Visagralem is going to help the Avatar get Raven out of the dungeon, but that's later. First, we're here in the library in Yu, because Visagralem told the Avatar that there was some stuff here that he might need to help him on his quest. There are a lot of books here, so I'm going to be doing a lot of reading, and I'm going to read things that I'm not sure if there are things in here that I've already read in the Let's Play. I'm going to read them anyway. Everything that I can read in here will be read. So if that's not fun, I don't know. Might need to skip the video. We'll see. But we're going to read everything, starting with this plaque. Please return all books to their proper shelves when you are through reading them. Okay. Well, let's read this book. Vortex Cube. Using the power of this cube, the gargoyles were able to bring the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom to their land. It was later used by the Avatar to return the Codex to the ethereal void and allow both humans and gargoyles to share in its wisdom. That is indeed what happened. What do we have here? The First Age of Darkness. Early in the reign of Lord British, there came unto the land of Britannia a powerful wizard named Mundane. He brought forth many creatures of great evil, using the power of his magic to control them. And there was great suffering throughout the land. It was in these days that the Avatar first came into our realm to vanquish Mundane and liberate our people. Okay. And none of these can be read. No. Neither can any of these. But these can. The Second Age of Darkness. After Mundane's passing, Minax the Enchantress brought forth terrors to menace the populace. She had been apprenticed to Mundane. Perhaps more than that, if the moaning and wailing that echoed through the halls outside their shared bedchamber bore any meaning. She established a reign of death and destruction, her magic fueled by the strength of her passion. Again, it was only the return of the Avatar that put an end to the oppression. Minax was vanquished as Mundane before her. Alright. The Third Age of Darkness. Once Minax was gone, peace reigned for 20 years, and then the last of Mundane's legacy became known, for he and Minax had together produced an unholy creation, known only as Exodus. For many years, it stayed hidden, patiently gathering information to heighten its powers. Finally, it chose to exploit the results of its diligence. Creating a mighty castle to reside in, Exodus brought forth a third plague of monsters, and nowhere in Britannia was safe from its relentless evil. This was the greatest challenge yet for our hero from another world. Yet once again, the Avatar proved triumphant. And with the defeat of Exodus, a new era of prosperity began. Cool, a little bit of ancient history there. I've got a lot of little books down here. Okay. I guess maybe we've found information about all the potions. Actually, yes, the Apothecary's Desk reference by Fito. And yes, I'm going to read it again. It is the author's expectation that thou art reading this to familiarize thyself with the effects of various potions based on their color. The first part of this work will discuss such aspects, with the remaining pages covering the materials and steps required to make such alchemical creations. Definitions. Black potion. Drinking this will render the individual invisible for several minutes. Blue potion. This mixture will allow the imbiber to breathe underwater for a limited time. Orange potion. This potion will restore some of the mana used during spellcasting. Purple potion. This concoction will provide magical protection for several minutes of hard fighting. White potion. This powerful potion will create a short-lived shield of fire. Yellow potion. This concoction will give healing aid to the imbiber's wounds. Warning, green potion. This potion is a dangerous toxin and will poison the imbiber, possibly killing the individual. Red potion. This fabulous drink will cure most poisons, including those acquired from the swamps, and that gained from drinking a green potion. Next. Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 5, V through Z. Here is another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This tome covers Vargas, contemporary storyteller and compiler of legendary parables, through Zyand, a prehistoric island. And this one? Struck Commander by Gilberto. This tome is the fanciful story of a man who, along with several comrades, gains access to a flying vehicle, much like a cart, and uses his abilities to fight terrorists and despotic monarchs who employ mercenaries using their own flying carts. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of things that have been elsewhere in Britannia so far. What is this? Knights of Legend, Volume 1. Once, in the kingdom of Ashtelaria, there was a great war. For a time it seemed the forces of evil would triumph. But through the valiant efforts of Segalian, the greatest knight in the land, the forces of the Dark Lord Pildar were finally driven back and defeated. All was well for a time, but years later Pildar had grown powerful again. From his dark tower he wove his evil schemes and managed to capture the Duke and the great knight Segalian as well. With his greatest foe out of the way, he was prepared once more to set out on a campaign of conquest. In those troubled times, a party of great heroes arose. After many perilous adventures, they finally won their way to Segalian's prison and set him free. They then set forth to discover what had become of the Duke. Book 5. Corinna's Workout by Corinna. Found within this plain-bound volume is a combat and exercise training manual. The work provides simple yet complete illustrations demonstrating a variety of steps that will not only disable an opponent, but also aids in good cardiovascular circulation. How nice. And number 6, Corinna's Total Body Workout by Corinna. Found upon the pages of this combat and exercise training manual are words that expand upon the original edition. Sadly, this work has received much less attention than Corinna's other two. There appears to be a missing book there, perhaps. Next. Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 2, F through L. Here is another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This work covers Faelga, the ancient sage of reptiles, through Lycaeum, the renowned library that is now a part of Moonglow. Yeah, that's debatable. It's just a little cottage with, like, one book in it. Next. Bow Marksmanship by Yolo Fitzowen. There is a zen to shooting well. Become one with your bow. Clear your mind of all thoughts save that of flying with the arrow to strike the target, and you will not miss. All right. Okay, what do we have here? A treatise on the lore of gargoyles by Norlik the Elder. Though gargoyles are considered by most to be mere legend, no records exist of documenting the origins of the gargoyle statues that adorn many castles. Even the towering stone guardians of the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom have many of the physical characteristics of the legendary gargoyle. Nobody seems to know where they came from either. Despite the lack of hard evidence, there have been a fair number of unconfirmed reports of sightings of live gargoyles. It is the opinion of this author that demons are a form of gargoyle. As many reliable encounters with demons have been documented in various scholarly works, perhaps this is the best source of further information on the subject of gargoyles. Perhaps not. I think we're on this one now. The Silence of Chastity by I.M. Monk. The treatise on the monks of the Brotherhood of the Rose, including how they compare to their stereotypes. One common misconception is that monks still hold on to the outdated notion that silence is golden. While this was perhaps a tenet they supported as late as 103, no longer do the monks of the renowned Empath Abbey care to remain speechless. There is no doubt that monks love wine. Not only are there more monk stories centering on the creation of wine, but any visit to the Abbey will reveal just how much of the entire building is devoted to the formation. The delicious mixture. Of the delicious mixture. And I think we're on this one. Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 4, Q through U. Here is another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This book covers Quaxetlornicum, the mythological snow beast of the north, through Utopia, the proposed manifestation of the time-honored concept of a perfect society. The Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 3, M through P. Here is another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This tome covers Kanos, an historical tower in ancient U, through Pusmaran, the originator of the rarely used fourth-person point of view. And finally for this shelf, Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 1, A through E, another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This work covers Erkara, the first mayor of Trinsic, through Exodus, the vile offspring of Mondane and Minax. Are we having fun yet? I don't think any of those can be read. Can we play with the globe? Can we spin it? Nope. Another plaque here. Please return all books to their proper shelves when you are through reading them. Yes, we caught that the first time. There's a book on the floor here. The Significance of the Number 8 in Current Society, a dissertation by Sir Perky. We can find great significance to the number 8 in the modern era. This is illustrated in the following examples. There are 8 virtues, each with their corresponding city. There are 8 dungeons, each associated with a city. There are 8 traditional companions of the Avatar, each hailing from a different city. Yep, that's pretty thorough, thank you. Moving on. We've got a book on the floor here, may as well start with that. Encyclopedia Britannia, Volume 5, V through Z. Did we not just... We've read... I'm not going to read it again because we did just read this 2 seconds ago. So I don't know why that's there, but it is. Oh dear, they're all here. We did just read Volume 2. We read Volume 1. We read Volume 3. We read Volume 4. We just read this book regarding The Silence of Chastity by I.M. Monk. How about these? We've read it before, but not in this video, so here we go. Lord British, The Biography of Britannia's Longtime Ruler by K. Benos. While many may remember that Lord British was once but one of 8 monarchs, back when the lands were known as Sosaria, few are aware that he is not even a native of our own lovely Britannia. His origin is from another world, one from which he entered ours by way of a red moon gate. In fact, it is through this same type of gate that the Avatar of Legend purportedly enters Britannia. Well, not always, and not recently. But okay, as ruler of one of the 8 kingdoms, he was instrumental in selecting a champion to face Mondain, Minax, and Exodus. When the terrible machine Exodus was defeated, 'twas Lord British behind whom all the people of Caesarea rallied. Yeah, like the few that were left. Not the ones that schlepped off to the Serpent Isle, but okay. The unified land became known as Britannia, with Lord British as the sole monarch, though never let it be said that he rules with a tyrannical hand, unless you're the people from Serpent Isle who think that he does. His reign has always been one of truth, love, and courage, supported by his utmost belief in the 8 virtues. It was Lord British who had the insight to call forth a quest for the Avatar, whom also happened to be the champion from the days of Caesarea, and who gave prosperity and happiness unto the people. Then came his mysterious disappearance, when the stranger who became the Avatar was called by his companions to aid in the search for the lost monarch. Note how Lord Blackthorn, affected by the Shadow Lords, quickly turned Britannia's fair lands into a place of terror. But find our noble lord the Avatar did, and Britannia was restored, its former peaceful state. Then came the gargoyles, and our honorable sovereign thoughtfully requested the return of the Avatar, ellipses. Indeed, that is a thing that happened, and I have lost my place because I moved the mouse. Was this it? No, that's not it. Must have been the first one, yeah? It was, okay. Second book here in this cluster of 4. The Quest of the Avatar. In days not long past, the Council of Wizards erected shrines to the 8 virtues that people throughout the land might meditate upon them. It was through studying the 8 virtues and the 3 underlying principles that the great hero, who had defeated the triad of evil, started down the path that led to avatarhood. For verily, it is known that the 3 principles are truth, love, and courage, and that from truth arises honesty, and from love arises compassion, and from courage arises valor, and that truth commingled with love gives rise to justice, and love commingled with courage gives rise to sacrifice, and courage commingled with truth gives rise to honor, and truth, love, and courage all united create spirituality. And the absence of all 3 principles leads to the vice of pride, which leads us to think of the virtue that is its opposite, that of humility. And on the quest to become the embodiment of the 8 virtues, the Avatar recovered the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom and discovered that the one underlying concept that leads to the 3 principles which lead to the 8 virtues is infinity. Ponder this well, O Seeker. All right. Book 3. Ah, yes, another book that we have already read. 8 cities for 8 virtues. Britain, home to the Avatar's boon companion Yolo. Britain is known as the city of compassion and traditional seat of the bards. New Maginsia, home to Katrina the shepherdess. This village is known for its humble way of life. Moonglow, known as the city of honesty. Moonglow is also the home of Mariah the Mage. Minok, the city of sacrifice, is home to Julia the Tinker. Yu, the city in the trees, is home to the court of justice, as well as Jana the Druid. Seems to actually be called the court of truth. But okay. Valoria, this fortress has long been home to the Knights of Valor, as well as the Avatar's companion Joffrey. Trinsic, home of the Honorable Order of the Paladins, and of Sir Dupre, who gave his life for the Avatar. Skara Brae. As the city of spirituality, Skara Brae is home to Shamino the Ranger. And last book here. I'm curious. Hold on a moment. So the tale begins as a traveler, Monday to rule Caesarea. I'm doing this for a reason. Where is that exactly? Is it? The tale began as a traveler, Okay, so we haven't gone through this, but I believe the book that we just opened is the same. as this in the journal. Something something, slowly ripping through the land and twisting the minds of the people. Nope, wrong book. Okay, they are the same. Yeah, we've been carrying this around in the journal for pretty much the whole game, but we never actually read it. So now we're reading it. The First Age of Darkness. The tale began as a traveler from another world destroyed the Gem of Immortality and foiled the plan of the evil wizard Mundane to rule Sosaria. Did you maybe skip a few? Okay, fine. Yeah, that's what happened. The Revenge of the Enchantress. The traveler returned to drive back the hordes of evil summoned by Mundane's lover and disciple, the enchantress Minax, who had sworn revenge for her lost love. Exodus. Exodus, bastard child of the evil mages Mundane and Minax, brought Sosaria to the brink of anarchy before the traveler arrived and banished the last of this. Family line to the pit. Quest of the Avatar. Lord British united Sosaria under the new name Britannia and proclaimed the 8 sacred virtues as the essence of Britannian life. The traveler returned and was named Avatar of the Virtues, Defender of the People, and Britannia's champion. Kind of already was, but alright. Warriors of Destiny. From the 3 largest shards of the broken Gem of Immortality came the Shadow Lords, who influenced Lord British's trusted confidant, Lord Blackthorn. The Avatar summoned 8 companions to defeat the Shadow Lords and rescue their king, while Blackthorn was thrown into the ethereal void for his betrayal. That's pretty brutal. Kind of a weird place. The False Prophet. The Gargoyle's most sacred book, the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, foretold that a false prophet would destroy the Gargoyle race unless he was sacrificed. After learning that he was the false prophet, the Avatar undertook a quest to bring peace between the races. The Black Gate. The Guardian, a vile beast from another world, was forced from Britannia when the Avatar traveled through the portal and destroyed the Black Gate through which the Guardian had entered. Pagan. Imprisoned on a distant world within the sphere of the Guardian, the Avatar was forced to summon the powers of darkness to thwart the elemental titans and open a portal to return to his world of peace. Weird. I guess they're talking about Earth. That is what happened. It just wasn't what was supposed to happen. Okay. Ascension. The Avatar, champion of virtue, is called upon one last time to defeat the Guardian, who has wrought new destruction through 8 great columns that are slowly ripping through the land and twisting the minds of the people. Yes, much like all of this is on display for anybody who's curious in the museum in Britain. We've got a book here in the library, in you, that clearly elucidates what's going on here right now, but yeah, pay no mind to that, certainly. And we have one final shelf of books here. What are they? Okay, we did just read the Second Age of Darkness, so we're not going to read that. Nor are we going to read the First Age of Darkness. I think this is the third. Yeah, not going to read that either. We're good. How about this? This is about the monks. Not going to read that. This is about the significance of 8. Found that on the floor. Not going to read it. Okay. No title. Fighting with a bow can be difficult at first, but the auto-targeting ability makes it much easier to target moving creatures. Press the T key to target the nearest opponent. Press the N key to cycle through all nearby opponents. The auto-target will be disabled when you put away your weapon. Can you imagine some normal Britannian NPC coming in here and popping open this book and going, "What the heck is this? What's a T key? What's auto-targeting?" I don't know. I always liked this one. I loved Ultima 7. Observations of Blackrock by Rudjum the Mage. The mysterious substance known as Blackrock is completely indestructible. Only by magical means can it be molded and shaped. Blackrock can be found in small quantities beneath the ground, sometimes near lodes of iron ore or lead. Blackrock can be excavated by conventional means, but melting it down into a malleable substance is impossible except by magic. I have found that a combination of electrical energy and magnetic energy has a profound effect upon the substance. Together, these properties cause Blackrock to become permeable. That is, one can put one's hand through the substance as if it were water. Further study reveals that Blackrock might work as a teleportation device if magic, electrical energy, magnetic energy, and the correct alignment of heavenly bodies act together upon the substance. This theory still needs to be tested. The Blackrock transmuter I created out of an old wand does not work. It was meant to shoot electrical and magnetic charges into Blackrock, but all it does is make the substance explode. I must be careful not to let the transmuter get into the wrong hands. Pointing it at a large quantity of Blackrock might produce a devastating explosion. Spoilers. I must quit for the day. The headaches that have been plaguing me have gotten worse. I am forgetting more and more. Very soon, I'm afraid I will forget how to cast simple spells. I believe something might be affecting the magical ether, but I cannot be sure. Yes, there were shenanigans afoot. Was this it? That was it, okay. And these last 6 books here. We've just read that. We've just read that. Everything an avatar should know about sex. All pages in this book are blank. Ah. Found this in the Gypsy's wagon back on Earth, actually. It's a bit of a long read, but hey, that's what we're doing in this video. Ethical Hedonism, a philosophical muse on the meaning of life and how one should live it by Richard Garriott. 1999, Richard Garriott. And again, a Britannian comes in here and goes, "What am I reading?" Why should I do unto others as I would have them do unto me? Why can't I poison the rivers and clear-cut all the forests? Why must I obey the laws of state? Is it because some god will damn me to eternal hell? Well, that would be a good reason, but I believe a more basic reason is all that is needed. Religions of the world outline moral codes of conduct by which one can live a successful life. But must one be religious to have such a code? In this book, I propose that such guidance can be found in mere thought alone, that logic and reason can guide you through the trials of life. At the very least, I think that what is outlined herein can help you think about the beliefs you hold and why you hold them. In this way, I hope that after reading this, you will feel as I do that knowing why you believe something is as important as what you believe. Other friends, either here at Origin or in my life, have pondered this subject with me, and later chapters will include their words and logic. I'd like to point out Herman Miller, longtime friend and co-author of the Ultima series, as a principal contributor. Hedonism. Life is to be lived to the fullest. Who does not hope that at their own end they can smile, knowing that they have enjoyed the journey? To each, enjoyed will be different. Some will want to have achieved greatness. Others will want to have left this world better than when they arrived. Some will just want to sit back and enjoy what life brings them. If one lived alone on an otherwise lifeless, deserted planet, one would feel free to do whatever one wished to pursue one's own happiness. If you wanted to poison all the waters or chop off your own arm, whatever made you happy should be okay. A life of unbridled hedonism would be yours. It would be a lonely, hedonistic life, but it would be yours to do with as you and only you choose to make it. Ethics. Most people choose to live in the company of other people. We gather together in communities for many reasons, A community of people has many social, survival, and economic advantages. If we want these advantages, we must restrict our hedonism and avoid doing things that would otherwise make others push us out of their community. We must not interfere with others' basic rights to pursue their own hedonism. Thus, while living alone we could have poisoned the world's waters, living among the masses that we do, we must refrain from this type of activity. I will call these restraints ethics. I will define ethics to be logically derived restrictions on hedonism. I will avoid the term morals, as it is often used to describe rules of conduct derived in other ways, for example, because a deity has said so. Ethical hedonism. An interesting symbol for this philosophy can be derived by superimposing a vertical line, or 1, on top of an infinity symbol. The symbol can mean the balance between the hedonistic life you could lead alone, balanced with the fact that we choose to live together in a growing, limitless society. Thus, a 1 and the figure 8 infinity symbol combine to create the symbol for ethical hedonism. That is quite a read. For the second time, but it is interesting. He's not wrong. I forgot which book that was. Was that the third one or the fourth one? I think it's the fourth one. Okay. Number 5. Just read this. And finally, number 6. I think we just read that as well. I cannot believe this, but I don't think we just read this. We didn't just read this. So here we go. Warriors of Destiny. After the shining example set by the Avatar, Britannia seemed all set to enter a golden age of peace and plenty. And then a great tragedy took place. Lord British, the beloved ruler who united the land of Britannia and saw it through some of the hardest times in its history, was lost. He had gone on an expedition to explore the newly discovered underworld and never returned. Many thought him dead. Lord Blackthorn took control in his absence, declaring martial law to maintain order. It was also around this time that the 3 Shadow Lords appeared at Stonegate. They were powerful, evil creatures who could warp the minds of men and turn them away from the 3 principles. 'Tis said they could draw on the power of the vortex to transport themselves instantly anywhere in the realm. It was a dark time. The Avatar was summoned back to Britannia and ultimately managed to rescue Lord British before the collapse of the underworld, restoring him to his rightful place on the throne. Whew. Well, there we have it. And I have to say, or I have to ask rather, why is the Library of Justice in the town of U, the town of Justice, more extensive than the Lyceum? Because it is. It absolutely is. Not that this is like the greatest selection ever, but there's a lot more here than in the Lyceum, so I would love an explanation of that. This is rhetorical. I know there isn't one. It's Ultima IX. Deal with it. But yeah, wait. Is that just... You see that? That looks weird. That's just sloppy. Can't read it, can you? No, of course not. Okay. Well, we've read everything here. We didn't find the Book of Justice, though. Unless... What's that? See that little bit sticking out right there? What is that? Can't click it. Okay. Yeah, that's not the secret. But there is a secret. And because this video is all reading, and that's not necessarily fun, we'll find that Book of Justice here in the next video. So thanks for listening. And I'll see you then.